everyone, welcome to Veena Mahendra. Imagine dedicating 15 years of your life to serving a family. Imagine standing by them during their most difficult moments. Imagine caring for their loved ones as if they were your own. Now imagine a story of trust ending in a tragedy that shocks an entire nation. A recent incident reported from New Delhi has sparkled a grief, anger, and difficult questions about humanity, trust, and the value we place on the people who quietly support our lives every day. Today, we will look at the facts known so far, the social questions this incident raises, and the lessons all of us can learn from it. Let's begin. According to media reports, the incident took place in the Greater Kailash area of New Delhi. The victim, identified as Meena, had reportedly been working in the same household for nearly 15 years. For many people, 15 years is more than a job. It is a relationship built on routine, familiarity, and trust. Reports indicate that Meena was not only involved in household work but had also supported the family during difficult periods, including times when members of the household faced serious health challenges. However, news of her death has now shocked many across the country. Police have arrested a doctor in connection with the case, and the investigation is ongoing. As responsible citizens, we must remember that the legal process is still underway and the complete truth will emerge only through investigation and due process. When incidents like this occur, society naturally asks, how can something like this happen? How can a relationship that existed for years end in such a devastating way? While investigators will determine the facts, there are larger social and psychological questions worth discussing. Across India, millions of domestic workers contribute quietly to the functioning of households. They prepare meals, they clean homes, they care for children, they assist elderly family members. Often, they become trusted individuals who know the family's routines better than many relatives. Yet, their contributions frequently go unnoticed. Many domestic workers spend years supporting households while remaining largely invisible in public discussions. This incident has resonated with people because it appears to involve not just a criminal investigation but also a breach of trust. Trust is one of the foundations of human relationships. Once broken, its consequences can be devastating. This case also raises an important question about human behavior. What makes seemingly ordinary person become involved in an act that shocks society? Psychology does not provide simple answers. Human behavior is complex. No single factor can explain a tragedy. But psychology does help us understand certain patterns. Psychologists often explain that behavior can be influenced by multiple factors: stress, emotional instability, poor coping mechanisms, unresolved conflicts, difficulty controlling impulses, and in some cases, prolonged psychological struggles. However, it is important not to jump to conclusions. Mental health challenges alone do not cause violent behavior. Millions of people live with mental health conditions and never harm anyone. Responsibility for actions must always be determined through evidence and legal proceedings. Another lesson from this tragedy concerns gratitude. How often do we truly appreciate the people who help us every day? The domestic worker, the caregiver, the driver, the security guard, the people whose efforts make our lives easier. Sometimes we become so accustomed to their presence that we stop noticing their contributions. Every individual deserves dignity. Every worker deserves respect. No profession makes a person less valuable. No amount of education can replace kindness. No level of success can substitute for humanity. A compassionate society is built when people treat one another with respect regardless of status, income, or occupation. There is also a safety lesson here. Families should take emotional distress, behavioral changes, and signs of aggressions seriously. Workers should remain connected with family members and communicate openly about their work environments. Most importantly, society must encourage conversations about emotional well being before problems escalate into crisis. Prevention is always better than regret. As the investigation continues, people across the country are hoping that the facts will emerge clearly and that justice will be served according to the law. But beyond the legal outcome, this incident reminds us of something essential. Human relationships must be built on respect. Trust must never be taken for granted, and every human life deserves dignity. As we conclude, let us remember that behind every headline is a human story, a story of hopes, a story of relationships, and a story of lives forever changed. May the truth emerge through the legal process, may justice prevail, and may society learn meaningful lessons from this tragedy. What are your thoughts? Do you think domestic workers receive the respect and recognition they deserve? Share your views in the comments below. If you find this discussion meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe to Veena Mahendra for thoughtful conversations on society, psychology, current affairs, and also life lessons.